Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
4 killed, 24 wounded in Chicago over the weekend. I used to come out every Monday and we would talk about those stats. We're now midweek and I'm just mentioning it. We've had many other things that I wouldn't say are more important, but that obviously are newsworthy as well. The Manafort stuff happened, and then there's been the fallout from that and the exuberance of the left and the idea that Manafort is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back for Donald Trump, when in fact Manafort's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back for Hillary Clinton. And I know many of you are questioning, is Hillary Clinton going to, and others, is justice finally going to be served? Rest assured, it will be. It will be. I believe everything that happened over the past 9 years has led to this moment. And you're going to remember where you were when Hillary Clinton gets an indictment, and Bill Clinton and Chelsea and Barack Obama and Susan Rice and Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch and many others. You're going to remember each and every time. And it's going to happen a lot. And it's going to put a stake in the heart of leftism. And that's been needed for a while. Leftism is draconian, to say the least. And it's needed a stake through the heart. So that time's coming. And the reason why I keep telling you this is not to make you feel good. It's because it is coming, and it's time that it comes, because it's right. It's righteous. It isn't a wishful thinking on my part. It isn't some bad karma experiment where I'm like, oh, geez, I don't want to put that out there. It'll be bad karma for me. Look, I've experienced karma. Sometimes she's pretty good. Karma works both ways. And karma is going to get the left for what they've been doing. We're not on some witch hunt for Hillary Clinton. Not at all. Would we be talking about Russia if they hadn't brought up the whole Russia thing on Donald Trump? The answer is no. Russia's another country in the world with whom we should be trying to do business or have some sort of a diplomatic relationship. And the left demonized that relationship. They intentionally made it difficult for Donald Trump to work with Putin and the Russians. We haven't had any reasonable meetings with the Russians, with Trump, because of all of the specter of scandal that's been going on, when in fact the biggest scandal is what happened in the previous administration. That's as succinctly as I can make this. But yet the left they continue down this road. They just are troublemakers. Anyway, I want to go back to Chicago. 4 killed, 24 wounded over the weekend. And I keep coming back to this notion of we have a repetitive problem in Chicago that never gets addressed. Rahm Emanuel's been the mayor of that city now for, 6-7 years. It isn't like this is new to him. It's not new to us. And we're constantly talking about it. And it's moving further down the page. Remember, like I said, I used to talk about it on Monday. We're midweek. And I'm bringing it up. And I'm bringing it up for a reason. I'm bringing it up because it points back to all the things that we've talked about. It points back to the NFL. The NFL, there's a graph that shows the number of blacks who've been killed by police officers this year. And you can barely see the little red in the graph. Then it shows and I'm talking about around the country. Then it shows the number of homicides of blacks for the country. And that graph is so tall, it would be the Empire State Building next to a 1-story building, so to speak, right? In terms of the graph. And nobody's saying a word about it. I was watching an episode of 48 Hours. I think that's what it's called. And it's a cop show where they've got 48 hours to find out who did what. And they profiled a young black girl. She was 25 years old. She moved to New Orleans to get her master's degree in social work. And they show her, of course, smiling with her degree and her graduation cap on, etc. And the notion of the show is this girl went to work, and it took her an hour and a half to walk from work to home. I want to say they said it was a 3 mile walk or something. She got off at midnight, and she was generally home by 1:30. I know this because the cops show up at the sister's house of the lady that got killed, and they said, "What time does how does your sister get to work?" And she says she walks. They said, "Does she take the bus?" They said, "No, she walks." And her sister said, the cop said, "Well, when does she normally get home?" And the lady goes, around 1:30. And the woman goes, "Where's my sister?" Like that. And the police tell her, "We have some bad news," and she just starts crying. She knows her sister's dead. But here's the deal. Her sister works at a rehab center for black men getting off of drugs and trying to get back into society. That's where she goes to work. That's why she got her master's degree. She said, "I want to help my community." And she goes to a rehab center. They named it. I don't know the name of it, but it's an icon in the community. She gets off work at midnight and starts her walk home. Now, you and I are already going, "Whoa, wait a minute." Starts her walk home. 3 guys on bikes, pull up to her and do something, and she ends up dead. The description, 3 young black men killed this black woman who's a social worker who wants to help young blacks in the community. And the 2 New Orleans cops who are working on it are both black, and they're sitting there shaking their heads going, how pathetic. How pathetic. This young lady moved from, I forget where, to New Orleans specifically to get her education so that she can help blacks. She could have moved, but she says, "No, I want to do it here in New Orleans," and volunteers at a center that is iconic. It is in a black area. She's going to help young black men go back into society, get off drugs, and that's what she does. And her reward is 3 young black men kill her. And when they did the autopsy on her, she had the DNA of all 3 of them under her fingernails. So she was fighting for her life. And these people want you to believe that Black Lives Matter. These football players kneeling want you to believe they care. They don't even know her name. This is what bothers me about leftism and about these frauds that get down there and take a knee as if they really care. They don't care. They care about pretending to care.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.